KP's Video News, y'all. It's KP's Video News, y'all. It's KP's Video News, y'all. It's KP's Video News, y'all.
KP's Video News, y'all. That's right. We got breaking news here. Breaking news. Breaking news. Breaking news. Fox News settles with Dominion. Fox News settles with Dominion. $750 million settlement. That's right, folks. I said it. $750 million. $787.5 million to be exact. Let me say that amount again. $787.5 million. Over $750 million. Yep. So Fox News has settled with Dominion Voting Systems, which sued the network for defamation after it repeatedly aired false claims about the voting machine company rigging the 2020 presidential election. Superior Court Judge Eric Davis announced the settlement today after a long delay following the jury selection. Parties have resolved the case, he stated. And he said, I've been on the bench since 2010, Judge added, and the best lawyering I've ever had ever. He also thanked the jurors, which were selected earlier in the day, and it was extremely important, he said. Without you, parties wouldn't have been able to resolve their situation. The settlement included a $787.5 million payment to Justin Nelson, one of Dominion's lawyers. The full terms of the deal have not yet been made public, and it's possible that an additional exorbitant monetary payment, Fox hosts will have to apologize on air. And yep, in addition to that money, Fox will have to apologize on air. Regardless, the settlement means Fox will avoid having to trot its highest profile figures, from Rupert Murdoch to Tucker Carlson and beyond, in front of the court to testify under oath about their coverage of the 2020 election, which the court has already determined was rife with lies. We are pleased to have reached a settlement, is what Fox stated, but Dominion is the one that's pleased. He said the Dominion statement, they said the truth matters, lies have consequences. Nelson said after the settlement was announced over 2 years ago, a torrent of lies swept Dominion election officials across America into an alternative universe of conspiracy theories, causing grievous harm to Dominion and to the country. Stephen Shackelford, who was slated to give Dominion's opening statement before the settlement was reached, added that there's more to come than just a financial penalty. Money is accountability, and we got that today from Fox, he stated, but we're not done yet. We've got some other people who have some accountability coming toward them. Dominion was seeking $1.6 billion in damages, arguing it suffered financial harm from Fox News pushing the false narrative that the company had helped rig the election in favor of President Biden, despite its executives and on-air personalities knowing that there was absolutely no evidence to support the claim. Signing a potential settlement agreement seemed to be underway on Sunday, with Judge Davis announced that he was moving the start of the trial from Monday to Tuesday without explanation. And Fox had already lost a series of pretrial rulings in the lead up to the now Knicks trial, including last month when the court denied the network's bid to have the suit thrown out. Judge Davis sanctioned Fox during a pretrial hearing last week after Dominion's lawyers accused Fox of withholding evidence, and on Tuesday announced that he had appointed a special master to investigate Fox's legal team. Portions of the withheld evidence in questions, audio recordings for former producer Andy Grossberg made after the 2020 election, were aired last week, and they featured a Trump official admitting to Fox that the Dominion machines in Georgia showed no physical issues, as well as Rudy Giuliani telling Fox host Maria Bartiromo that he was having trouble sustaining claims of election fraud. The recordings were only the latest in damning series of revelations about how Fox covered the aftermath of the election. Internal network communications made public during the litigation demonstrated that network executives and prominent on-air hosts knew there was no real evidence of fraud, but pushed the idea that there was because of concerns about losing their Trump-supporting audience. Tucker Carlson and Laura Ingraham texted about there was no proof of fraud. Fox News CEO Suzanne Scott emailed about concerns that fact-checking election fraud claims was bad for business, and Rupert Murdoch admitted in a deposition that Fox hosts endorsed false claims of fraud. The network also appeared fully aware that there were falsehoods in their coverage of Dominion's role in the election, and says that after the election, Fox News information specialist Leonard Balducci circulated materials from Dominion and Associated Press debunking growing conspiracies about the company. Fox continued to platform unfounded claims by Giuliani and fellow Trump lawyer Sidney Powell anyway. So, Trump, I don't even want to say what he had to say about any of this. It's a waste of time. But anyway, the only reason they settled is to keep from being held accountable on paper, being held accountable in the court of law. So what they're going to continue to do is they're going to continue to tell lies. Only now what they'll probably do is not mention any companies by name, because they've mentioned the company Dominion by name, and this is just opening the door for a lot of other lawsuits and all frivolous lawsuits that what Fox considers frivolous lawsuits, they're actually good lawsuits. And anytime you defame a company by using their name when you know the facts of the case was a lie, you knew it was a lie, but you continue to tell that lie anyway to try to keep that the only people that watch your show is Trump lovers anyway. People that like to hear those lies on TV. Fake news, man. That's all it is. Fox News is fake news. And hey, let's face it, they have been caught with their hands in the cookie jar, and they went down. Tell you that number again: $787.5 million, over $750 million in payments they're gonna have to pay up front. So therefore, since Dominion settled, they're gonna get their money now. They won't have to go through all these appeals, and which they could, Fox could have dragged this thing out, man, for 20 years. Even if they would have been found guilty, they could have dragged it out for 20 years, and possibly try to get it down even lower. But hey, they lost. They was seeking 1.6 billion. They got $750 million. I think that's a good day's pay. $787 million is a good day's pay. For a good day's work. They panicked. Fox knew they were in the wrong, and they knew that if they went before a jury, and the jury got a chance to hear all these testimonies and hear all these videos and all this recorded conversations that the Fox people knew, Giuliani knew, they all knew, Tucker Carlson and Laura Ingraham knew that there was no proof. There was absolutely, positively no proof of fraud whatsoever involved in this election, and they got caught with their hands in the cookie jar. And it's about time, now let's see what they do going forward. I don't think they're going to change. I don't think they're going to change much. I think they're going to still be the same old reckless Fox, telling lies, boasting and telling lies like they've always been. I don't think they're going to change. But one thing I can say is they probably won't be mentioning names. They probably won't be mentioning the names of companies anymore in their lies, so they can avoid these lawsuits like this. Anyway, that's breaking news. Breaking news. Fox settles with Dominion and pays $787 million settlement. And they got to apologize.
KP's Video News, y'all. KP's Video News, y'all.